Football. Welcome to NFL Week 6. So happy that you made it. Congratulations. You're not quite to the end of the work week, but you did make it to the most important thing, and that's Thursday night football. So we have the Broncos in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Hearing there's a lot of weather, some wind in that one. So we'll talk about how that impacts the game throughout the course of the show. We will also be talking, obviously, about the fantasy implications of tonight's game, the player prop bets we like, the game picks we like. We're going to be giving out all of our picks tonight, but that's only one half of the menu. We also have a massively important game 4 between the Braves and the Phillies in Philadelphia. Spencer Strider on the mound against Ranger Suarez. Spencer Strider, the Philly crowd was chanting they want Strider. Well, they're going to get him tonight. We'll talk about some of the trends behind that pick in that game, as well as some of the player prop bets we like. If you haven't already, make sure you're a part of this amazing community of sports fans that is live every single day, every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern, every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. Butt Fumble Sports is live across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick every single day. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're a part of this great community of sports fans that's talking fantasy football, sports betting, DFS, and ranting about sports every single day. It is so fun to have the time we have together. If you ever want to reach out when we're not live, feel free to do so on our website, buttfumblesports.com, or you can always hit us up at our email, feedback@buttfumblesports.com. Love hearing from you guys at home. Love hearing how we can be better. Love hearing your suggestions for the content, the company overall. Really appreciate the feedback. As always, we are sponsored by the SHARPZ app. SHARPZ is a social media app in which sports bettors can share their picks, tail the picks of other people. So if you want all of my bets every single day, make sure you DM me, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. I give out all of my picks for free on SHARPZ. The reason that we partnered with SHARPZ is we like the idea of you guys not having to go behind a paywall to see all of the picks that I like every day. They're free. They're available. You can scroll through every pick that I make. Game pick, player prop bet, total play, doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the type of play, parlays as well. You can see all of them, all on my profile. And even better, you can comment on them. You can like them, you can hate them, you can let me know what you think. I love interacting with you guys over there. It's a way that we were able to take the celebrity shot contest that we did here at Butt Fumble Sports during the summer and transfer it over to another way to participate with you guys. As you guys already know, we have already given out one of our picks tonight already. Chiefs on the money line. You guys know I liked that yesterday. It was my SHARPZ play of the day. We have a bunch of other parlays up here. Isaiah Pacheco, over half a touchdown. That is a popular play. That is one of the most popular plays across the NFL. I got to make sure every time it auto-corrects that. So we got to make sure that we keep in mind the public really likes this play. But we're going to talk about some other plays today. We'll separate these so you know the Sunday plays versus the Thursday night. But we have a lot to get into over the course of the show. Of course, we're going to be answering your fantasy questions as well. So if you guys need help with your sports bets, your fantasy question, DFS, everything, Butt Fumble Sports is here for you. We are only on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick right now. I wanted to give the YouTube audience a little bit of a head start, getting their questions in, giving them some extra attention. So if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, now is your time to get your questions in, get your personal attention, and then at 5 o'clock Eastern, we will let the TikTok horde out of the cage and let everybody get in on the fantasy football sports betting questions. So if you're watching on YouTube, now's the time to get the questions in. Make sure that you're throwing them in like, yo boy Alex, even if he starts tonight, should I trust Kelsey? That's exactly what I'm thinking, yo boy Alex, which is I wouldn't trust him. Look, he's going to play. There was a great indication of that when we learned that Taylor Swift was going to be showing up. She's not showing up for him to be in sweats. But I don't like him tonight. The weather, the overall matchup, everything about it, I'm not crazy about it. I'd go with Laporta. Yo boy Alex, I'd rather start Laporta. P3YTONP2. Would you trade Keenan Allen, Kamara, and Kirk for Eckler and Amon-Ra St. Brown? The answer is no, I wouldn't. I'd rather have the three. I'd rather have the two wide receivers and the running back. I think Kamara has value, so no, I would not make that trade. Thanks for watching us over there on Twitch. Again, Butt Fumble Sports is live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick right now for the next 45 minutes or so. Then we're going to let TikTok in on the fun. So make sure you get your questions in. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. We have a lot to get to over the course of our show, including some trivia. Yes, that's right. We're getting trivia back into the show thanks to Stunt. Stunt is a social app that allows you to talk about sports all in one place and kind of clear out the clutter. But they also do trivia every Thursday night. $1,000 prize pool. So $1,000 prize pool for trivia. So if you're a sports fan like me that thinks you could cash in, DM us on Instagram for that way to get in on the trivia. P3Y, I would not do that trade. P3Y, I'd rather have Keenan Allen, Kamara, and Gibbs. Oh, you added Gibbs. Oh, you changed the question. Sorry, you threw me out there. Keenan Allen, Kamara, and Gibbs instead of Kirk for... That's a trade I'm more likely to do. I'm still not sure I do it. I don't know if I do it yet. I just think Eckler's injury history, you're trading for two injury-prone players, two guys who have been injured this year. So that's the reason I'm kind of hesitant. The second one's better, P3, but I'm still on the fence. Kyren Williams or Pacheco. Braden, it's an Isaiah Pacheco night. Isaiah Pacheco should have a massive game, everybody. Isaiah Pacheco has got to be one of my favorite players of the week across everything. So really, really love it. Really love it. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. By the way, big shout out to all those that watch us every single day, the loyal viewers that we have. Thank you guys so much for making us a part of your routine. Joe, hey, should I trade Chase and Pittman for a Lamb and Bijan full PPR? I actually think that's a really good trade. Joe, I think it's fair, but I also think you're getting the better of it all at the same time. So I really like the trade. Good idea. Really smart. Really smart. Braves tonight. Elliott Robinson. I am going to give out that pick a little bit later in the show, but if you go onto the SHARPZ app, Elliott Robinson, you can see every pick that I make every day. Again, if you guys want every pick that I make, every bet that I make is on the SHARPZ app, so just DM us on Instagram if you want to get the SHARPZ app, but we give out all of our picks for free. We will share that pick tonight, Elliott, just not now because we're on YouTube only. I want the TikTok audience to hear it as well. Jorge, what's good? Butt Fumble Sports is live right now exclusively on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. That way the TikTok audience, they'll get us at 5 o'clock, but we're exclusive on these channels right now, so you guys can get your questions in. You guys get the kind of personal attention that usually goes in other directions. So, want to make sure you guys are getting the help that you need. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you being with us. Christian Vasquez, would you trade Kyren Williams for either Montgomery or Breece Hall? For David Montgomery, I would. Christian Vasquez, I trade him for David Montgomery, absolutely. P3, what if I try to get A.J. Brown instead of Amon-Ra? Love it. P3, if that's the move you make, then I love it. Then I really like it. Your boy Alex, there's a lot of talk around Emilio DiMercato now that James Conner is out. Should I trust him? Trust, not so much. Trust isn't the right word. I think if you're going to DiMercato, trust isn't the issue. You need a body. You need a body that has potential for points. So I don't think it's about trust. I think it's about potential. I think he has good potential. Trust is different. If you're putting him in the lineup, you don't have the luxury of trust. You're too desperate. So I think you got to be a little bit more hopeful if you're putting him in the lineup as opposed to kind of looking at it in the black and white. If it's in the black and white, no, he's not like a bottom line good play. Top line, maybe. So that's how I would think of it. Thoughts on holding Gibbs and Montgomery? I like it. I've been doing it for a lot of my teams so far this year. That's how I would continue to play it. Alejandro, which two do you start? Derrick Henry, Kyren Williams, Zach Moss, Javonte Williams, and any of the rest worthy of a flex. I currently have Davis in the flex. I like Davis in the flex. I would put Kyren Williams in the starting lineup, and I'd probably put Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's matchup isn't favorable, but I'm not crazy about everyone else that you have. I would probably go with Henry and Kyren Williams. I'm not as high on Moss. I'm not as high on Williams. That's what it is. I don't really like Derrick Henry's matchup this week. Really tough against the Baltimore Ravens, but Alejandro, I think he's probably the safest play. Kyron Williams is the one I like the most, but I definitely have Gabe Davis as my flex. Mesmerize, thoughts on Chiefs, -2.5. Yes, I do like that. Bringing that spread all the way down to 2.5. I really like what you're doing there, Mesmerize. And Rashee Rice, 25 and Mesmerize, way to put together a great parlay. I absolutely love it. Oh, did I just screw up there? Yeah, I did. Don't worry. I'll get it back. But I got to bring up my outlier app right here, because I want us to be able to see the outlier app and what the Rashee Rice play is. So if you give me 1 second, I'll pull that up right now, because that's what I want to show you guys. Rashee Rice. Let's get you back on the screen, everybody. So I like Rashee Rice as well tonight. Rashee Rice is a very good play for me, especially because I don't think that Travis Kelce is going to play the same kind of impact that he would have if he were healthy. Over 2.5 receptions, really strong play. Now, 30.5 receiving and rushing yards, not as much, but the over, it's interesting, the over receiving yards, same, but Denver's such a bad team. So if you're getting it at 25, that's why I like it even more. Because if you're getting it at 25, this has been a good cashing ticket at over 24.5, 4 out of the last 5. A lot of green on the screen, exactly what you want to see. So I love the play. Love the play. Mesmerize, that's a great parlay. And yes, folks, we are doing sports betting advice for all you guys as well. So if you guys do need help with your sports bets, we're definitely here for that as well. Make sure that you guys are hitting us up with your sports betting questions on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We're not on TikTok just yet, but we will be starting at 5 o'clock. Want to get Rashee Rice up here. Over 24.5 receiving yards. Really like it. Really like it. Great find. Adding it to the board. Let's keep putting up your questions and get into all of the relevant stats, player prop bets, and trends for the night. Jorge, start 2. Walker, Montgomery, or Jacobs? Jorge, I'd start Walker and Montgomery. Jorge, I'd start Walker and Montgomery. Thanks for the question, Jorge. Thanks for being with us. Freddie Ramirez, would you trade Saquon Barkley, Hopkins, Hawkinson for Kupp and Ravens defense? I got Breece Hall, Mostert, JT. I don't like trading for a defense usually. I feel like that's a real throwaway piece, especially the Jets. Especially the Ravens. They're playing well, but I don't necessarily trust them week to week. They're not like a juggernaut. If you were getting a top defense, that'd be something else. 49ers, Eagles is what I'm thinking. Would I trade those 3, though? I think it's okay. I just don't like the Ravens. I would want another player besides the Ravens. I'd want to upgrade there. I understand you could pick up Logan Thomas. I understand that's a substitute, but I'd ask for another player. You're giving up more value than you're getting in exchange. Yo boy Alex, choose 1 for the flex. I'm going to go with Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers would be the one. Christian Vasquez, really tough question between Kelce and Waller. Man, I got to say Kelce. I don't like it, but I got to say Kelce for 2 reasons. 1, if he's healthy enough to go, I have to trust him going up against the worst defense in the NFL, arguably in the Denver Broncos. But additionally, Waller is relying on Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is playing a primetime game. You guys have already probably heard the trend. Daniel Jones in primetime is god-awful, so I am not about Waller in that one. Russell Wilson, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Let's go take a look at that player prop bet for those out there who are interested. Russell Wilson, under 1.5 passing touchdowns, is the number 1 implied probability related to Russell Wilson. Tells you a lot right there. However, the trend goes against that. In actually all but 1 game this year, he's cashed. Now, that 1 game was on the road. Maybe that makes you feel a little bit better about it. If we go head-to-head on this, at Kansas City, didn't cash. Maybe that makes you feel a little bit better as well. I'm not going to touch this one. Do I think he's going to get 2 passing touchdowns? No, but I don't feel good enough about it. -195, not attractive enough. This was closer to like a minus 145, minus 150 maybe, but for me, it's just not attractive enough in terms of what I got to give up in order to cash the ticket, just given the kind of uncertainty I have. So that's where I shake out on that one. Thanks so much for the question. Russell Wilson or Goff? Oh, definitely Goff. Christian Vasquez, I definitely go with Goff over Russell Wilson. Jorge, follow up. Mike Evans or Jacobs at the flex? I'd go Mike Evans. I'd go Mike Evans, just barely. Did you see Laporta is hurt? No, I did not see that. Calf injury. Yeah, new injury. Suffering a midweek injury is not ideal timing, as we saw with Gibbs and Mitchell last week. Very interesting. By the way, Gibbs was at practice today, so that's a positive sign for him at least. Wow, we got to keep an eye on that. I was not aware of that. Thank you for letting me know. A midweek injury with Laporta. Unfortunate. Christian Vasquez, Goff over Russ. So Keenan Allen, Kamara, and which one? Gibbs or Kirk for Eckler and Brown? I'd give up Gibbs in that. Yeah, I'd give up Gibbs in that case. I'd give up Gibbs. Thanks 3P for the question. Great to have all of you with us. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We are live right now on those platforms. We'll bring in TikTok in a little bit, but right now, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, getting your questions answered, so fire away. Yo, boy, Alex, oh no, I have Kelsey and Laporta. What should I do? Frankly, I would probably... I'd throw Kelsey in there. If he's healthy enough to go, you got to believe in it. If he's healthy enough to be on the field, if they're putting him out there on a short week, you got to trust it just enough. Jorge, is the weather in Kansas City going to affect the passing game big? Yes. Jorge, that's absolutely right. I'm very concerned about the wind in this game when it comes to passing the ball, so I think that adds to Pacheco's value. I also think it does impact overall passing yards for Mahomes and Russell Wilson. This isn't going to be the kind of just chuck it all over the field kind of game. Christian Vasquez is asking about Kadarius Toney and specifically on his receiving yards. Let's go dive over into that. Looking at Kadarius Toney, can we trust him in a high win game? Again, the highest implied probability. If you guys, by the way, want to learn more about this app, the Outlier app, make sure you hit me up. More than happy to share info with you about it. But this has been a really good trend, taking the under on this, given the weather. The only concern is he's facing such a bad defense. But one thing I always like to note is how does the line move? Opened at 31, dropped down. So this is something where even the sharp money didn't think that the over was going to be a really strong play. So I like the under if I had to go in a direction on it. Not one of the player prop bets that I have for the game, but I do like the under. Christian Vasquez, thanks for the question. Mesmerize, I did. Okay, so the first game she went to, I played a kind of parlay player prop bet grouping of receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. 2 of the 3 hit. I did it against the Jets. Didn't have the same level of a success. I think the effect has worn off just a little bit, more because, frankly, I think that the Chiefs are less concerned about it than maybe the first game where it was kind of making them look good. Ant Can 111. I'm going to lean towards Puka. I'd go with Puka. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every single day. We are live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick starting at 5. But for now, only YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So get those questions in if you guys want to get your questions answered before the rest of the herd starts to join the chat. Do you think Jefferson managers are panicking? If so, what should I offer? I think they are panicking. Frankly, you could offer cheap value right now. I'm the kind of guy who's recommending that they should trade him. I don't think Jefferson's value is really good the rest of the year. DeMercado or Hubbard, gotta start one. I'd probably start DeMercado. Sunshine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd start DeMercado. Just has maybe a greater upside. Starting Pacheco at flex over Amon-Ra St. Brown, thoughts? And Cam 111, I would. And Cam 111, I would. And Cam 111, who are your wide receivers that are forcing you to get Amon-Ra St. Brown there? Jorge is asking about Mims on 1.5 receptions. Let's take a quick look at Marvin Mims. 1.5 receptions, the over. Really strong play. Has been a very good trend. If we look at the head-to-head, no data there, obviously, because he's a rookie. So this didn't cash last week at home, but has been a very consistent ticket. So maybe one that you can rely on to go back to. Jorge, over 1.5. A lot of green up on the screen, something to consider. Isaiah Pacheco, anytime, Top Dog. By the way, Top Dog, great to see you. Feel like it's been a minute, but Top Dog, yes, Isaiah Pacheco is the #1 prop bet out there right now, which actually has me a little bit concerned. I hate betting with the public. That said, the public's actually been doing well, cashing tickets of late, so over half a touchdown, you see really good play. I mean, the Denver Broncos are just terrible. He has a 3-touchdown streak. I like Pacheco to get over half a touchdown. I did bet this one. I also looked at Jerick McKinnon over half a touchdown. That was another one I considered. Not as favorable a play, but definitely one that has value. When he scores, he gets them in bunches. Here's a great note. We kind of stumbled into this one, guys. Jerick McKinnon has a touchdown in 3 straight games against the Denver Broncos. Very interesting. And this is good value at plus 340, everybody. Might be onto something right here. Let's throw this one up on the board. I'll take the chance on it. Jerick McKinnon over half a touchdown. That's a plus money play, everybody. Plus money play. We like it. You said JJ value wouldn't be high the whole season. Should I trade him? Yo, boy, Alex, I think you should, because I think the likelihood that even if he comes back, the Vikings will be in tank mode and shut it down mode, I think is greater than them really competing. I don't think they're going to want to risk him coming back from injury only to risk injury in games that are really irrelevant. So that's why I'm not high on him. Ant-Can 111, I'd go Diggs. Ant-Can 111, I'd go Diggs. Thoughts on Addison rest of the season? He's going to have more value. Addison's value is still going to retain itself over the course of the next few weeks. Waller or Logan Smith? Logan Smith or Logan Thomas? If it's Logan Thomas, I like Logan Thomas a little bit more. P3, Peyton P2. I do like James Cook this week. He's got a great matchup. I don't like the number of carries he's been getting, but I do like the matchup. Tilly, Evan Ingram, McLaughlin, Laporta. If you had to go with 2, I'd still go Ingram and Laporta, and I just wait to see if Laporta is a healthy one. Or Mims. Yeah, I'm not high. I understand that Mims could have some value just because they could get him the ball in space, but I really just don't like the passing game of the Broncos. Sunshine, we got you. Dante, great to see you. Dante, great to have you with us every single day. Dante, great loyal viewer. It's wonderful to have you guys with us. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that follow button, everybody. Make sure you hit that follow button. We are live every single day. You guys know it. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We'll be live on TikTok in about 25 minutes. But make sure, if you have not done so already, hit that follow button. Make sure you're a subscriber. That way you never miss a show. We are live every day. Wonderful to have you guys with us across YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Oh, by the way, did that not work? No, I don't think it did. Okay. There is an opportunity for you guys to get in on some trivia tonight. $1,000 prize pool in trivia. It's by Stunt. If you guys want to get in on some trivia, let me know. We have a link for you guys. So if you guys want to get in on some trivia, here to hook you guys up. Let's see if this link works this time. Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, ignore this one. So if you guys want to get in on some trivia, $1,000 prize pool starts at 7. I know a lot of you guys are big trivia folks just like I am. So if you guys want to get in on that, it's at 7 o'clock. I'll share the link with you guys through the chat. I can also share it with you on Instagram. Just DM me on Instagram if you want to get in on that. Again, trivia, Thursday night trivia, 7 o'clock. Sunshine just traded Devontae and Judy for Waddle and Zay. Love it. Sunshine, great trade. Great trade. Love the trade. Brilliant. Rate the team: Tua, Cook, Kamara, Chase, Keenan Allen, Laporta, Kirk. Patriots. I don't like your Patriots defense anymore without Gonzalez and without Matthew Judon, but overall pretty strong team. Chris Films traded Mixon and Palmer for St. Brown. Thoughts? I think it's a good trade. Do you think the Pats will move on from Mac anytime soon? I think it's a mistake too. I actually think they should play Mac until they should just run it into the ground. Look, the Patriots are in tank mode anyways, but are you really is Bailey Zappi really anything? If you want to take the rookie who played in preseason and throw him out there, fine. But frankly, the Patriots they should be tanking for Caleb Williams or Drake May, and Mac Jones he's just a guy now. He's a Jag. He's just another guy. So you think Pacheco is a better start than Kyren or Montgomery this week? Ooh, great question. I think he's a better start than Kyren Williams. It's close between him and Montgomery. I think he probably is. Pacheco is one of my favorite running backs of the week. Montgomery's pretty darn close, though. So between Pacheco and Montgomery, it's closer. But I like Pacheco as much as anybody else. Josie Jewell, let's go take a look at tackles there. You know we're getting into something fun when we're talking about some tackles over here. Let's see if we can get it. Tackles and assists. Josie Jewell. Over 6.5, over 7.5, so really good play. Though it hasn't cashed. Look at that. So, not one that I'd go with, Top Dog, but you're sniffing out something interesting. Not one I'd go with, but that's what it is up on the screen. Mesmerize. If the Patriots could get Caleb Williams, it would be fantastically horrible for the NFL because he is going to be a generationally good player wherever he goes. I just hope that it isn't to Arizona. I just hope that it's not to Arizona. You know, for a number of years, how like the NBA, it felt like every number one pick was going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's how I feel about the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm not for it. I don't want it. I think the Cardinals, I'd rather have them play out the story of Kyler Murray, and like I don't care for the Cardinals. They bore me. I want to see Caleb Williams in an interesting situation. So the Patriots would be amazing. Even Chicago, if somehow Chicago decided to move on from Justin Fields, which I doubt's going to happen with how he's played of late, but I think Caleb Williams is a prize. We have not seen someone like this since Patrick Mahomes, and frankly, you can't really compare anybody to Patrick Mahomes like Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams being the first. So a lot of runs equal a lot of opportunities for him. Top Dog, I think you're onto something. Just the trend hasn't matched it. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure that you hit that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Should I start Bucs defense even though they play the Lions? No, I would not play the Bucs defense. Jorge, Ferguson, Njoku, Ertz, and Jonnu Smith. Real quick, did you guys see the photo of David Njoku's face burns? Oh my goodness. That man has got to be the toughest mofo on the planet to play football like that. Oh my God, my heart goes out to him. I hope he heals. I hope he's okay. What a scary injury, and obviously a home accident, even scarier in some ways. So I hope he's okay. Scary picture. Ferguson, Njoku, Ertz, and Jonnu Smith. Getting back to the question, Jorge, I'd go Ferguson. Jorge, I'd go for a Ferguson. Can't believe he played his right. I mean, a dog doesn't even begin to. I mean, I don't want to make jokes, but there was like a Deadpool element to it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pick alert, everyone. Spencer Strider over 3.5 hits allowed. See y'all at the window. Top Dog, very interesting. Let's take a look at it really quick. Top Dog is getting us sniffing out one involving Spencer Strider. I'll get to the pick I like in this game, but you can see the over 3.5 hits allowed has been a very consistent ticket. Wow, very consistent ticket. 7 straight games. That does include that includes 3 games against the Phillies, one of which was in Philadelphia, so the head-to-head really working in your favor. 4 straight games against the Phillies, this has gone over. So, Top Dog, you have sniffed out another one here. If you guys are looking for a good bet, according to Top Dog, one of our better bettors, who's one of our viewers, Top Dog, did a really good job in our Celebrity Shot contest over the summer. Make sure you guys are on to this one. Spencer Strider over 3.5 hits allowed. We do have a bunch of player prop bets we're going to be giving out over the show. Once we get TikTok into the mix, that'll be at 5 p.m. We'll add the TikTok audience at 5 p.m. Yeah, Mesmerize likes that pick, Top Dog. Jorge, his face looks like a Batman mask. It's just incredible what he's gone through and the fact that he played. Yo boy Alex, how does me getting Stephon Diggs and Mike Evans for Justin Jefferson sound? Oh my goodness, yo boy Alex. Take it and run with it. Absolutely love it. Christian Vasquez got offered CeeDee Lamb for Kyren Williams and Montgomery. Which one should you accept? I mean, it's a great question. I think probably it depends what you're looking to upgrade. And which position do you need more of? Which position do you need to upgrade more? Top Dog, we do NHL picks when we're really finding one that we really like last night. I liked Connor Bedard over 2.5 shots. I think that kid's going to be shooting a lot over the course of the season, so that'll probably be a better ticket than most. But NHL game picks, there's got to be something that really stands out to me in trends that I see throughout the day, but there hasn't been anything today. But we do NHL picks when we find them. But guys, as you well know, Butt Fumble Sports is trying to not run into someone's rear end. We're trying to not make mistakes. We're looking at data. We're looking at analytics. So when we find a good one, that's what we go with. But by the way, Bedard is a dog. I love Bedard. He's going to be awesome. I was talking to some people about this. I love how the hockey community, when the hockey community says this guy is like the next one, they always are. It's not like boxing where like maybe they are, maybe they're not. It's not like the NBA where it's like, oh yeah, but knee injuries or stuff. No, the NHL, when they're like, oh, Connor McDavid's going to be the best player. Oh, no, Sidney Crosby's going to be the best player. When they anoint someone the next one, they always seem to hit, and Connor Bedard is absolutely supposed to be the next one. So grateful to have you guys with us every single day. I am so happy that we get to talk sports with you. It is just wonderful. Butt Fumble Sports, talking sports with you guys across all of these channels. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us. This community of sports fans is live every single day. Every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. It is so wonderful being able to talk sports with you. And we talk sports in a lot of different ways. I mentioned this just a moment ago. We have a new sponsor with us. The Stunt is a new sponsor with us. Place we can talk sports, rant about sports. It's like a Twitter for sports. If you guys want to get to know Stunt, you can go check it out, go download it. But they also have a trivia. They have a trivia that's going on tonight. If you guys want to get in on trivia, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. Or I'm going to put the link for trivia in the chat right now. If you guys want to get in on trivia, it's a $1,000 prize pool, $0 buy-in, $0 buy-in, $1,000 prize pool. If you guys want to get in on it, here's the link. Go check it out. That way you guys can play some trivia tonight and cash in. AJ Brown and Puka for Bijan Robinson. Good trade, bad trade, bad trade. AJ, are you getting AJ Brown and Puka? I'd rather have the 2 than the 1. What would you offer for Justin Jefferson? I mean, I think that's a really interesting trade, Peyton. I think that's kind of a tease, but yes, that's exactly what I do. KJ Osborne, to see if he'd just take the substitute in the depth, and you just stash Jefferson on your bench. My running backs, if I trade Kyren, would be Bijan and Brian Robinson. Christian Vasquez, I think you probably need the extra running back, so I'd go Montgomery. Spencer Strider, over 1.5 walks allowed. Dante, by the way, Dante, another really loyal viewer. Great to have you with us every day, Dante. I love doing these YouTube shows because it does remind me of the summer when we had a lot of our slower shows, when we were just talking a lot of sports betting and everything else. So it's a nice throwback to that time with a few of you. Top Dog, Dante, a bunch of you guys. Jorge as well, of course. Let's take a look at walks allowed. Spencer Strider, 59%. You can see it's been a very good trend. I will note, one of the times this didn't cash was against Philadelphia, but has cashed the 2 other times. Again, looking at the head-to-head, hasn't been a great trend against Philadelphia. Hasn't been great, actually. Not as much as I would like, if I'm being fair. In 2023, man, started as a really good trend. Not as much as it went on. It's kind of an interesting one. I'm not going to bet on this one. I'm just not as high on it. Not saying it's not going to cash. Just don't feel as good about it. The data doesn't get me excited. Gotcha. I have Henry, JT, Brown, Jefferson, Cooper, Kupp, and Lamb. So I'm thinking I trade Puka and Brown for Bijan. You have... Yeah, I wouldn't trade Puka and Brown, I think. I wish you could trade Jefferson and Puka. Like, that's what I wish you could do. Michael Thomas or McLaughlin. I'd go Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Make sure that you guys are hitting that subscribe button. Make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button, just like Brash David just did over there on Twitch. Brash David, great to have you as a member of this community. We are live every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We will be on TikTok in about 12 minutes, but for now, we're still focused on the YouTube, Twitch, and Kick audience. So get those questions in. If you're watching over on YouTube, now is the time to get the personal attention, because pretty soon that TikTok audience, you know how they are, they kind of demand the time a little bit more. Would Jaleel be a better start tonight or sit with Javonte? I like Javonte a little bit more, but I'm not crazy about either one of them. I'd probably go Javonte, though. Christian Vasquez, main reason I wanted to offload Kyren is because I recently got cut back. I understand that, but Kyren Williams still has good value, especially against some matchups that they may have against lesser run defenses. He's a very good red zone option. That's why he stands out. Nico, if you want my best bet tonight, we will give that out during the TikTok portion of the show. If you want all of my bets every single day, you could find them on the SHARPZ app. Just DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. Just DM me on Instagram. I'll share all of my picks with you. They're free. They're not behind a paywall. And what's even better, you can connect your sportsbook to SHARPZ, and that way you can automatically connect my pick, click on my pick, and it fills in your sportsbook, so you can tail my bets as easily as possible. Jorge, Falcons, Jets, or Jags defense? I'd probably go with the Falcons defense. I was thinking about them earlier this week. Barkley or Breece Hall, week 6. I'd go Barkley, I think. I think I would go Barkley. I don't like either one, if I'm being fair, if I'm being honest. Do you think Tua will have a good week? Yes, I'm a little bit worried about the weather, but yes, I do like Tua this week. Luis Martinez traded K9, Etienne, and Ayuk for Diggs and Flowers, since I still have Monty, Kyren, Barkley, Hall at running back. I like the trade. I really like the trade, actually. If you don't make sure or you're getting something from it. Should I trade JJ then? I would. Just make sure you're getting something, yeah. Payton 3 saying it right. Mesmerized, would you accept a trade where I'd receive Travis Kelce for Ingram and Swift? Ooh. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. That's actually a good trade. It's just Kelce isn't healthy right now, but the moment he gets healthy, and you hope it's for the playoff stretch, the real reason I like the trade is if Kelce's right for the postseason, he can literally be a one-man wrecking crew for you. He can win you playoff games in fantasy, because that's the same time of the year the Chiefs may need to turn on the Jets to ensure a number 1 seed in the AFC. So I actually really like Kelce. As long as he's healthy, the later we get into the season. Appreciate all of those being with us. Again, we have about 10 minutes before the TikTok audience joins us. So make sure that you're getting your questions in from YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Now's the time. giving you guys the personal attention on these 3 platforms. That way you can get all your questions in and answered before the hundreds of people, thousands of people that watch us on TikTok ask their questions and obviously draw a lot of our attention. Where do you rank Chase the rest of the year? Probably as a top 5 wide receiver, maybe still even top 3. For trivia, is it all sports or just football? I believe it's all sports, yo boy Alex. I believe it's all sports. So if you're a sports fan, I believe it's all sports trivia. I'm definitely going to hype it up as an opportunity to talk some football trivia, I hope. But I do like the idea. I think it's all sports trivia. Nico, I'm going to hook you up with my picks right now, Nico. Appreciate you being with us. I'm going to hook you up with all of my picks right now over on the SHARPZ app. Again, if you guys want my bets every single day, just like Nico does, Nico, I'm going to send you the SHARPZ app pick. We've been doing pretty well. 9-1 in our last 10, 7 straight correct picks in a row. So sending that over to you, Nico. You can go check it out on the SHARPZ app. And Kelsey is expected to play. Is he a good start? I think he's an okay start. Yes, I'm kind of being in the middle on this. I'm worried he's more decoy than effective. I don't think he's... Maybe he gets a touchdown. I certainly don't think he gets a lot of yards between the 20s. Peyton Butterfield. Should I trade Kamara for JT? I think they have very similar value. I actually probably would keep Kamara. The reason I don't like JT as much, maybe because without Anthony Richardson, it's a much different offense. It's very close, though. I think they're about the same. Should I trade Breece Hall or Christian Kirk? I trade Breece Hall. Bang and play. I think Breece Hall, coming off the game he just did, has a lot of trade value. I think Christian Kirk is probably the better own throughout the rest of the year. Mesmerized. Do you think Puka is going to maintain his production going forward? Yes. Yes, I think he will. It's about Sean McVay's offense. It's about Stafford. Both of those things play in favor of Puka. Breece Hall has a tough matchup. Yeah, he has a really tough matchup. Really tough one this week. Would you go Deontay Foreman or Jahmyr Gibbs? If Gibbs is healthy, Nico, I'd go with Gibbs. If Jahmyr Gibbs is healthy and it looks like it's trending in that direction now, I would go with Gibbs. Thanks so much for the question. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button over on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We are live every single weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern, every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. Never miss a show. Make sure you subscribe. Trade Ridley for Puka? No, I'd probably still rather have Ridley, wide receiver 1 versus wide receiver 2. Jake, am I crazy for wanting to keep DJ Moore? No, he is getting so many targets. The Chicago OC finally woke up to everything we already knew. Just throw the ball at DJ Moore as many times as possible. The team may not win, the offense may not be as good as other teams, but you can't go wrong just throwing the ball at DJ Moore. So, yes, you could sell high on him. I understand that there's a lot of value there, but personally, I think he's going to I think he's not going to necessarily get better. I think he's going to maintain this kind of level of high production when they throw him the ball. I have Kupp and Puka. Feels weird starting both. Why, Mesmerize? If I told you you had Tyreek Hill and Waddle, would you feel bad about starting both? I think when you have certain offenses that rely so heavily on the passing game, you could feel good about it. Now, maybe if there's a matchup against a top pass defense, you don't want to do it. If they're going up against one of the better pass defenses in the NFL, okay, maybe you only start one rather than both. That way you don't run the risk of both being shut out. But starting both against like the Arizona Cardinals, I don't see what's weird about that. Don't know why you should have any angst. Do you think Gibbs will boom during the end of the season? That's a good question. I thought that he would actually get off to a better start and then kind of fade away. But the way they've managed him, it does, I feel, look like his best days are ahead of him. So I could see that happening. Also, Chris Jones to not get a sack, plus 190 on DraftKings. Thoughts? Well, Jake Ernst, I took him to get a sack. I'll throw that one up on my board, actually, before we get the TikTok audience in here. I actually did take Chris Jones over half a sack. Chris Jones over, and it's 3/4 of a sack. I took the over on it. Broncos have a terrible they have a terrible pass protection plan. They're bad on the offensive line. I like Chris Jones getting a sack, but I actually took a number of Kansas City Chiefs to get sacks tonight. So, plus 190 might be a good play to be a contrarian on that one. Mesmerize, pick one. Mesmerize, it's between Puka and Swift. Right now, I'm leaning slightly towards Swift, but it's very close. Peyton, 5-0, thanks to our help. Really happy about it. See you later, Peyton. Have a great day. Hope all of you guys are hitting that follow button. Hope all of you guys are subscribing across YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We are going to go live over on TikTok in just a few minutes. But if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. We are live every single day on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, giving out fantasy advice, giving out sports betting advice. Obviously having a lot of fun with you guys every day, just talking sports. Like I mentioned, we do have a new sponsor, Stunt, S-T-U-N-T, Stunt. If you guys want to get in on some fantasy, if you guys want to get in on some trivia, some sports trivia tonight, that'll be going on at 7 p.m. over on Stunt. That's a $1,000 prize pool, $0 buy-in with Stunt. So again, if you guys want to do some sports trivia tonight at 7 o'clock over on Stunt, just DM me on Instagram. I'll also be giving out that link throughout the course of the show, but plenty of ways to be over there. Mesmerize, feel free to stay over on YouTube. We love you guys watching over on YouTube as well. So always feel like you can do both. There's another link for the Stunt right there. So if you guys want to get in on some trivia action tonight, another opportunity to do so. We're going to let this TikTok audience get in on the fantasy football and sports betting questions. To everyone who's been watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, we're going to stay live on these platforms. You don't need to go anywhere. Definitely can continue to watch the show. We're going to do our research up here. You'll see all of our picks. So I hope you guys love the experience, the viewing experience of being up here just as much as everything else. Wonderful to have you guys with us. Let's get this TikTok audience in here. How about it? And hello, everybody watching on TikTok. Welcome into the show. Butt Fumble Sports is live across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick now. All of our platforms are now live. If you guys have fantasy football, sports betting questions, DFS questions, we are here for all of it. So make sure you're with us. We have a lot of show to get to. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. We are live every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're a member of this amazing sports betting, sports fantasy football community. As I've been talking to those over on YouTube about, we do have a new sponsor, Stunt, a new sponsor, Stunt. If you guys want to do some sports trivia tonight, you guys can hit me up on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. If you guys want to do some Thursday night trivia, sports trivia, $1,000 prize pool, $0 buy-in. Yes, you heard that correct. If you guys love trivia, sports trivia specifically, $0 buy-in, $100,000 prize pool. Just DM me on Instagram and I'll share that with you. 7 o'clock is when the trivia goes off over on Stunt. So if you guys want to get in on it. Yo, boy, Alex, any predictions before the trade deadline? I think you're going to see a lot of teams in the trade deadline all of a sudden. I think the NFL trade deadline is going to have a lot more activity this year than we've seen in past years, and that really does speak to what is going to be a loaded draft class in the NFL. Let's get to all of your questions across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Again, if you guys want all of my sports bets, just DM me on Instagram. If you want to get in on this trivia, DM me on Instagram. Pretty much, if you want any links, if you want anything at all, DM me on Instagram. But we're going to answer some fantasy questions now over here on TikTok. Let's get going, everybody. Enzo, if you want all of my bets every day, DM me on Instagram. Enzo, DM me on Instagram if you want all of my bets. I give them out for free, absolutely for free through the SHARPZ app. So if you want all of my bets, Enzo, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Marius, what's the snap count going to be for like JT, Zach Moss? I can trade D-Hop for JT. I like that. I would trade D-Hop for JT, Marius. I like the trade. Thanks so much, Marius. Skippy, start Brian Robinson Jr. or Damian Pierce? Ooh, really good question. I think I'd probably come out and say go with Brian Robinson Jr. Damian Pierce does not have a good matchup. That's why I come out on that one. It's very, very close. Very, very close. But I'll lean towards Brian Robinson on that one. Appreciate the question. Great having you with us. Make sure all of you guys out there who are watching are hitting that follow button. That way you never miss our show. By the way, those who are asking for our picks, you're getting them right now, just like Austin Worth. Austin wants our bets. You're getting them. Make sure you connect to your sports book. That way you can tag in. You can literally hit my pick. Takes you right to your sports book. You can cash it. Nosebleed. Have a great time at Arrowhead tonight, Nosebleed. I love the idea that Butt Fumble Sports is being viewed and watched right now at Arrowhead. By the way, yes, moderators, feel free to put up those who contribute and subscribe. Feel free to pin them. Jacob Vines, I'd go Montgomery. I like both of them. Wish you could start Montgomery and Flowers, but I'll start Montgomery for the moment over Flowers. Thanks so much for the question. Yeah, got that one. Yeah, beat you to it. Brock Ford, you think Aaron Jones is going to be good, like 14 PPR a week? Yes, I think so, Brock Ford. The only problem is he's on a bye week this week, but following weeks, yes. Yes, I think he's going to be good following weeks. Watership, Sutton or Drake London? I'm going to go with Drake London. I'm going to say because the Falcons are at home, Desmond Ridder at home, I'll like London more. Thanks for the question. Thoughts on Pacheco? Guys, if you guys want my favorite plays of the day, you can see it up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I love Pacheco tonight. Anytime touchdown. I will also take Pacheco on over rushing yards. Now, I would take Pacheco to be safe on, let's say, over 50-plus rushing yards. But I think you could take his over rushing yards player prop as well. Love Pacheco tonight. Would you start JT this week? I'd be on the fence about it. Probably yes in a flex or RB2 if you're desperate. But don't love the matchup. It's okay. But the answer is probably yes, I would get him in. Appreciate you guys being with us. IP Shade 45, thanks for helping us out with our live goal. Demon Speed, which tight end should I grab for waivers if Laporta is out? Ooh, good question. If Dalton Schultz is available, Dalton Schultz might be someone you want to consider. I think that Hayden Hurst is always somebody who's worth considering. If Evan Ingram has been dropped from someone's team, he's worth considering as well. Those are a few names that come to mind. Devontae Smith or Christian Kirk. This week, I'd go Christian Kirk. LC, I'd go Christian Kirk. Thanks for the question. Kyle, Boyd, or Terry McLaurin. Ooh, if T. Higgins is back, I'd go McLaurin. If he's not back, I'd go Boyd. Who's more valuable, Breece Hall or JT? Lucas, JT is more valuable. JT is more valuable. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every single day. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. That way you never miss a show. Zerk, PhD, McLaughlin tonight. I'd rather go with Jeff Wilson Jr. I'd rather go Jeff Wilson Jr., Zerk. Toby, start Breece Hall, Devontae Smith with their matchups. I'd rather go with Devontae Smith. Jake Ernst. Should I trade Zay Flowers and Robinson for JT? You're giving up too much. You're giving up too much. What about these pick two? I'd go Addison and I'd go Devontae. Addison and Devontae. Frigid 5-0. JJ out. I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay. I think Jeff Wilson will be back. I think Jeff Wilson will be back. Brock Ford, trade Cooper Kupp, Waddle, and Robinson for Pollard and Devontae Adams. I'd rather have Kupp, Waddle, and Robinson. I'd rather have Kupp, Waddle, and Robinson. I wouldn't do that deal, Brock Ford. I wouldn't do it. Janelle McLaughlin or Moss. I'd probably still go Moss this week. McLaughlin's got some value, but not a ton tonight. Toby, sorry, one more. Start Breece over Nico. No, I'd probably go Nico. Rate the squad. I made some moves. Lamar, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Diggs, Ayuk, Kirk, Komet. Love Thomas gets more overall production. I'd go Logan Thomas. Kelsey between the 20s doesn't feel like a good play. Appreciate all of those being with us across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching over there on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, make sure you're hitting that follow button and make sure you're a member of this community. TikTok, same for you. Sky Moore or Jerry Jeudy. I would start Sky Moore. Play 2. Play Cook or Kyron Williams. I would go with Kyron Williams. I'd go Kyron Williams. Thanks so much for the question. JT this week. I would go JT. Pitts or Ferguson. I'd go with Ferguson. I'd go Ferguson. Nico Collins or Ayuk this week. Ooh, very tough. I'll probably go Ayuk just barely. Lamar or Tua. I'll go